Want to know what kind of cardio to do to burn the most fat? Follow along. I'm going to show you how to do it. All right, guys, there are essentially 3 types of cardio that I'm going to recommend. LISS, which is low intensity, which means your heart rate is somewhere between 110 and 120. MISS, moderate intensity, which is going to be somewhere between 130 and 140. And then lastly, HIIT, or high intensity interval training, which is going to be full out, balls to the wall intensity. So which one of those you choose, to me, depends on a lot of things. Schedule, how hard you train, and your ability to recover. So for me personally, I like to do a lot of LISS cardio fasted first thing in the morning. That's when I feel the best, when I have the most energy, and it really starts my day off right. Now, as I start to get into better shape, I find that I have to increase the intensity occasionally to tap into new fat reserves. So that means increasing the incline up to as much as 8 or 10. Now, the speed I will always leave constant at 3 because I'll use the incline to dictate my heart rate. Now, let's say I really need to get some fat burning, but I don't want to do high intensity intervals because I don't want my legs to be dead, because I'm really trying to ramp up for hard leg training. That's when I will opt for the Stairmaster. For me, level 5 to 6 does the trick. I intentionally squeeze my glutes with every single step, and it makes me pour sweat from head to toe, and I am drenched when I finish. So simply switching from a treadmill to a Stairmaster will force me to really burn a lot more fat and tap into new reserves because it's a shock to my body. Very similar to what I changed in exercise. Now, let's talk about heart rate. That's one of those things. I don't have one of those fancy Apple Watches or a heart rate monitor, but what I do is the talk test. So for example, I'm doing LISS cardio currently. I could have a conversation with you on the phone, or I'm having with you on a video right now, and you can tell that I'm doing something because my breathing's a little bit labored, but it's not like you're going to experience when I take it up to MISS, and then when I do HIIT on this Peloton bike, you'll see how drastically different that is. So I call that the talk test. I should be able to talk to someone on the phone, hold a conversation during LISS, but the person on the other end will know that I'm doing something. All right, guys, last final piece here of MISS and LISS is not holding on. So if I'm on this treadmill, I don't want to hold on. Use your arms, pump them. It'll help you walk faster, but also it'll get your heart rate higher. And I know that because if you put your hands on the sensors and hold, versus when you're not holding on, your heart rate will get much higher. So here's what you don't do. That deloads all your body weight. Stand up tall. So as you can tell, MISS cardio, breathing a little bit more labored. I can still talk, but I am definitely having to work harder. Sweat is rolling down my back, and I'm really having to focus on staying ahead of the treadmill so I'm not falling off the back. So keep that in mind. When you do MISS, be a little bit harder, your heart will be a little bit higher. Incline is 10 incline, 3 speed. And this is perfect for me. All right, guys, on the Peloton here, but honestly, you can do this on a stationary bike, an elliptical. I've seen people do this on the Stairmaster, which seems super dangerous to me. John made this famous in the pool, doing sprints. All you have to do is find an application or a piece of equipment that you can just go max effort on. And I really want to emphasize max effort. That's not hard, that's as hard as you can go. There's a big difference between going hard and you emptying the gas tank. Every single set here, and that's how I view this, if I'm gonna do 5 sets, 10 sets, 12 sets, 20 sets of 15 seconds, as hard as I can go, I have to empty the tank on every single one, and then it resets. I rest 45 seconds, and then I go again, as hard as I can go. Please heed that advice, as hard as you can go, because this form of cardio is useless if you don't dump the tank. So let me show you what some of these look like. 3, 2, 1, go. 3, 2. Then you want to try to control your breathing. I get 45 seconds rest, and then right back at it. 3, 2, 1. All right, guys, there you have it. Hit. What does it look like? You hear my breathing, right? It was only 2 rounds. Every single time. You have to view it as hard as you can go. It's the only way this is effective. Only way. There you have it, guys. My 3 favorite ways to do cardio: list, miss, hit, and how to maximally do that. Now, the final piece that we didn't really discuss is timing of it all. So like I mentioned on the treadmill, I prefer fasted because that's when I feel the best, operate the best, and it fits my schedule the most optimal. For years, when I worked at Gold's and I trained people at 4:30 or 5 a.m., it wasn't conducive to wake up at 2:30 to do my cardio. It just wasn't. The sleep there was needed. So what I would do is I'd have meal 1 on the way to the gym, train a client or 2, then do my cardio, then eat, then get right back to work. So I achieved just the same amount of fat loss after 1 meal as I do doing it fasted. So the biggest thing for me with cardio is when selecting a time is for where you're gonna be the most consistent. So for some, that's first thing in the morning, because that way they have no distractions, their phones aren't going off, they're not gonna be getting called in to go to work, their kids are asleep, for example. Now, other people may do better doing it on their lunch break or after work. So that, to me, the timing of it really depends upon your schedule and where you'll be the most consistent, because at the end of the day, I just want to make sure you get that cardio in for the prescribed minutes to the proper intensity. All right, guys, if you like that video, like, share, and subscribe. If you have any questions about cardio, post them below. I'm happy to answer them as I respond to every single comment. Thanks for following along, guys. Keep this content coming to you guys, because I cannot wait to share more knowledge that I've gained over the last decade and a half in the fitness industry with you. Thanks. Until next time, Chris Edmonds TV.